Hello, this is Unlimited Splash, where we get better at Magic together through a new draft every day. And today I'm so excited to jump into another draft of one of the greatest draft sets of all time, March of Machines, which is on Magic Arena only for this week. Let's go. All right. Okay. So I should say this set is one that I played right when I got into Magic after a long time away from the game. And so I think I had worse card evaluations in those days, so I'm going to try to give these, a take with fresh eyes as much as possible, but I do remember standout cards for sure, and Breach the Multiverse is one of those cards that you just remember. 7 mana for a sorcery, each player mills 10 cards. For each player, you choose a creature or planeswalker card in that player's graveyard, and you put them onto the battlefield. Then each creature you control, blah, 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 becomes a Phyrexian. What you're doing is you're taking 7 cards or 10 cards off of your opponent's library, 10 cards off of your library, and then you get the best creature straight onto the battlefield from both of those mills. One of the top bombs in the format, as it turns out. It was a slow enough format that this could be just an incredibly powerful card. I also want to call out Invasion of Amonkhet, an extremely, extremely powerful card. This is more than a 2-for-1, basically. Oh, Kenrith. Not really a playable build around, unfortunately, although I do love it in principle. It's a 5-color payoff. Grafted Butcher, I believe, is strong. So when it enters, Phyrexians you control gain menace until end of turn. It's a Phyrexian Lord, so all your incubator tokens get grown, and then you can also bring it back by just sacrificing some, skittering surveyor that you have lying around. So I'm inclined to take that one partly because I took a really great rare. I mean, such a strong rare that you really actually kind of do want to lean towards that color. Pack one, pick one. You usually would not want to, weight your pack one, pick one too highly. But in this case, this is such a mega bomb that I do kind of want to play black if possible. I will say Skyclave Aerialist is also extremely strong. It is a 2-1-for-2 flying. You can flip it and get a land off the top. Well, you get a card off the top of your library, and if it's a land, you put it straight into play. One of my favorite abilities in the history of Magic, my mechanically favorite card is Coiling Oracle, which does basically that. But I'm going to go with the Grafted Butcher here. It's just, it points me very clearly in the position of a game plan, and now I'm kind of moving in that direction until proven otherwise. So I'm going to be drafting with a preference here. This card I think is fine. It deals, or it's good. I mean, deals 5 damage to a creature, planeswalker, or battle for 3 mana. That's a good rate. And then you look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the excess, and you can cast an extra card. So actually quite a good card. We also see another very good red removal spell in Stoke the Flames. And then we also see one of the best commons in the entire set in Deadly Derision. So I kind of want to take the Deadly Derision because it's the best common in the color that these two rares are in. There could be an argument for Nahiri's Warcrafting. I'm actually going to lean towards Deadly Derision for a very specific reason, which is I have a double black cost already. Another double black cost pushes me in the same direction mana-wise. Adding a double red cost to my deck feels like I'm going to be putting a really big tax on my mana base. And here we get another top black common in the Deadly Derision. I'm just going to happily take that. Completed Huntmaster is, I think, a pretty strong card. I have found a lot of times when it's really useful to sacrifice a creature artifact to incubate. For example, it can kind of blank your opponent's removal spell if you have 1 mana up and this guy untapped. So a pretty strong card. Invasion of Kamigawa is completely unplayable. Emoti also is a card I have a lot of fun with, but pretty much unplayable. So I would say there is a pretty good uncommon in our colors, but I think Deadly Derision is just better than the Huntmaster. Don't quote me on that, but I know that Deadly Derision is good. This card is pretty much always good. Like, look at Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, where Spicy Anchovy Pizza is one of the best, and it's one of the best commons, and it's basically this card. Actually, I think this card is way better than the Spicy Anchovy Pizza in this set, to be honest. When a creature becomes the target of a spell or ability, destroy that creature. Totally wild, wacky card. Not really what you want to be playing in Limited. So, and Omnath is really funny. I don't actually think it's any good. If you lose unspent mana, something happens. At the beginning of your first main phase, look at the top card. Then if it has 3 or more colored mana symbols, yeah, so this is kind of a 4/4 for 4 that's hard to cast. A few cards stick out to me. I mean, Vanquish the Weak is a totally nice one to have. Blighted Burgeoning is a solid common. But there's actually a bomb in the pack, which is Elvish Vatkeeper. This card is totally nutty. It's kind of like it's kind of like 2 bodies for 3 mana. In a certain way, this is going to sound hyperbolic. In a certain way, it's a 3/3 and a 4/4 for 3 mana. That is a little hyperbolic, but not that hyperbolic. This is just an incredibly, incredibly strong card, purely on rate. In this pack, there's really not much going on. I don't think highly of Invasion of Muruganda. Compare this to Assert Perfection and Lorwyn. It gives you a little bit extra something and bites or fights. Yeah, this one actually fights, and it does give a +1/+1 counter, but it costs 5 mana. And the way to evaluate these battle cards is really by their enters the battlefield effect, not the ceiling of what would happen if I could flip it. So I'm not so inclined to go in that direction, or equipment are typically not very good in limited. So I think, and I don't think Corrupted Conviction or Ichor Shade are good. I think I'm actually going to take the Halo Charge Scab. Actually, maybe I'll just take the Fearless Scald. None of the cards in this pack are very good, so I'm just kind of looking for like, what's the most likely color that I'm going to end up in? Probably it's more likely red-black than blue-black. I do note that black, I haven't seen a lot of good black in the last few packs. However, I saw a lot of good black earlier, so I'm hoping it's not too cut, even if maybe people on the other side of the table are drafting it. So here, again, none of these cards are particularly good. I think Stasis Field is perfectly fine. A 2/3 for 3 is not really where you want to be, just understated stuff. I might just take the Stasis Field, actually. No, maybe I'll take the Harried Artisan, just give myself another chance to be Rakdos, because it does seem like, oh, okay, no, blue is wide open. Skyclave Aerialist and Preening Champion are two absolutely bonkers cards. These cards are top in the format. Preening Champion especially. This is literally a mythic common, by which I mean if you look at the win rate data on cards in this set, Preening Champion is better than almost every single mythic in the set. It just turns out to line up incredibly well in this format. So now I wish I'd taken the Stasis Field, because we just got a crystal clear signal that blue is open. However, now if you look at this pack, there's not that much obvious going on. Like Wary Thespian is a perfectly fine green card. So maybe I take the green and just assume that, hey, maybe that blue is not going to work out. Maybe it was just a weird one-off. I could also take the Skittering Surveyor, which is actually a safer pick, because I can play it in any color of deck that I end up in. And maybe I end up in a 3-color deck at this point, because it's kind of messy. So I think I'll take Skittering Surveyor. I mean, Wary Thespian would have been a respectable card as well. Tandem Takedown is a top card too. I'm really confused about what's going on at this table. We're really getting signals in just tons of different directions that are completely contradictory with each other. That was a strong signal into green, then a strong signal into blue, now a strong signal into green again. What I'm not seeing are any black cards, so maybe I'm just getting cut out of black. And now here's a red card. Well, Stormclaw Rager is something, right? Stormclaw Rager is something. That's a Rakdos signpost wheeling. So maybe I just ignore all of the confusing signals and I just say, you know what? I saw, well, but isn't Stoke the Flames just better? Stoke the Flames is probably just better. Yeah, but that does mean that we have clear signals into red, and Ral's Reinforcements is another just totally good red card. And now here's a good green card. So who the heck knows what's happening? Well, I'll take Coming in Hot. You know, the fact that we got we opened Breach the Multiverse, so I don't want to just like totally pigeonhole on that. But look, then we got past a Grafted Butcher into double Deadly Precision. Maybe I shouldn't be black, but what else would I be? Like red, green? It's a little confusing. Okay, Invasion of Ixalan. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You can pull a permanent and put it into your hand. And when you cast a spell, this thing gains indestructible. Okay, look at the top 5, put a permanent into your hand. It's not bad, but I could also just take a Preening Champ. The thing about Preening Champ is that it's so good when you manage to play it on curve. Like, that's what's good about that card. We really didn't see clear signals into blue, did we? I mean, we got a Ral's Reinforcement at the very end, Tandem Takedown. I mean, it's the best card in the pack. Do I just take it for that reason? Because if I'm about to get past a bunch of sickeningly good blue, hopefully I'm going to get past a bunch of good black this pack and just solidify myself into black. But I'm going to take the Preening Champ. I don't know what my secondary color is right now. I do think Voldaren Thrill Seeker is quite good. It's very possible I'm actually a blue-red spells deck. That's possible. Because those are colors that we're just seeing being absolutely wide open across the table, especially with Ral's Reinforcements going all the way around. So, okay, maybe I'll take the Voldaren Thrill Seeker. It would be really unfortunate to have to throw back this many cards, but it's also possible that we end up in Grixis. Maybe Grixis is a good spot for me. So let's see if maybe I can wheel these Bloodfell Caves, for example. I do have a very high opinion of the Scorn Blade Berserker, backup, sacrifices creature, draw a card. It's just totally sweet. And now there's also an Elvish Vatkeeper. We did see a late green-black land, so I think green-black might be open, but I also think that Rakdos specifically is open. So I'll take the good black card. If there had been a good black card in the last pack to take over Breeding Champ, I would have. Now, let's see. I remember Phyrexian Gargantuan is not as good as you would want it to be. When it enters, draw 2, lose 2, and it's a 4/4 for 6. It just turns out to be not very good on rate. Now, I wonder if I just take the Swiftwater Cliffs, because there's not that much that's good in this pack. Gloomfang Mauler is kind of fine. I might just take the Cliffs. You could imagine playing Grixis. Like, look at this. I have Skittering Surveyor and double Preening Champion. Yeah, okay, so maybe let's take the dual land and just try to get a little bit flexible with it. What do you do? At the beginning of each player's upkeep, right, I remember this card. It symmetrically draws everyone a ton of cards. Not a very good effect in Limited. So, okay, so maybe where we're at is I'm going to be Grixis. Is that possible? Do we think that we could pull that off, playing Grixis here? It could happen. Someone could do it. In that case, what are my base colors, though? I mean, blue would be the splash. It would be base black, red, splashing blue. So in that case, I'm more inclined to just take the 2/2 with prowess synergies. There is an Astral Wingspan, which is probably a better card in raw terms. And Arena's trying to get me to pick the worst card, of course. Here, I'll just take the dual land. Kind of looks like maybe I'm just not supposed to be black, though. Like, now all that we have in black is Fleeting Gorilla. Okay, maybe black is a fool's errand. I mean, my black cards are very powerful, so if there's a way to play them, even if I don't take any more black cards, I would like to. So I think it's fair to take the Bloodfell Caves. The only issue is it's really hard to splash a Breach the Multiverse, right? What do we have in this pack? If you gain life, distribute plus almost one counters. Slow, but a very high power ceiling. Okay, I'll just take the Gloomfang Marauder. Like, we're not really missing anything else. There are some powerful cards in here. I think probably the Thopteryx could be powerful. Yeah. But it's quite distant from what I'm doing. The Alabaster Host Sanctifier is perfectly fine. Good at just stabilizing a messy board. Karsus Depth Guard, I don't think is playable. But I actually think the Gloom Mauler, the Gloomfang Mauler is a respectable card. Here, really interesting. I think I'm just going to take Pyretic Prankster. This card can be really annoying when you level it up. It's actually like a fine 2-drop in my opinion. Yeah, happy to just take it. Probably better than the Dreg Recycler as a 2-drop. So happy to just snap that one up. Okay, and I'll take an Aki Scrap Chomper. By the way, in my last video, I learned that these old bordered forests were in the store, and I bought them immediately, and it just brings me so much joy to see those in this pack. Okay, wow, there's a Bloodfell Caves, a Skittering Surveyor, and an Eyes of Gataxias. Eyes of Gataxias is a superb common, but I think I'm happy to just take the dual land here. I think that's the responsible pick. I don't really want to push the splash too incredibly far until I have the fixing for it. So I'll just take a black card out of this pack. It's possible I'm supposed to be red-green or something. I don't know. These tables also have been incredibly messy. The current situation in March of Machine drafts rewards people who are able to cobble together a good deck when nobody knows what's going on, which is very understandably so, right? Because this draft set has not been on Arena in 3 years, right? So none of us really know what we're doing. And then I can take a Gloomfang Mauler. Yeah, this is looking like a pretty reasonable Grixis aggro or Grixis control deck. I guess I can take this. Oculus Whelp is a card. I mean, Angelic Intervention is a signal that white is open, but I did not get any impression that white is open from the right, I don't think. Okay. Invasion of Amonkhet is a totally sweet card. I mean, this is really a bomb. When it enters, everyone mills 3, then each opponent discards a card and you draw a card. And then this creature comes in as a copy of a creature that's in the graveyard. So, but really the fact that it enters, the opponent discards and you draw, that effect is already just strong enough that this is just a good card. So I'm going to snap this one up. Probably I'm not playing the Bane Splitter. Probably can cut a Gloomfang Mauler. No way am I playing this Thunderhead Squadron. I really want more fixing because right now I don't think that I have enough for me to be able to play my blue. Rankle and Torbrand, when it deals combat damage to a player, each player makes a treasure, each player sacks a creature. If it starts to deal damage to a player, yeah, I don't think it's that good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana for a 3/4 flying first strike haste that just does symmetrical stuff. Yeah, I mean, and it costs really strict mana. I just don't think that's very good. I love Skyclave Aerialist. Am I supposed to just not even be black? Honestly, should I be just setting all this stuff aside? Oh, it's hard. Merciless Repurposing, I think, is probably fine. I think I'll just take Ren's Resolve, honestly. Merciless Repurposing, I think, is probably good. It's just very expensive. Inga and Essica. Creatures you control have Vigilance, tap, add 1 mana of any color for a creature spell. I remember building around this card back in the day, like at Friday Night Magic. I'm going to take either Blade Agent, so that's a good black card. And seeing a Vanquish of the Week here, I did think that black was open from the right. I did really think that black was open from the right. Okay, now here we get some interesting stuff. So Captive Weird is really good, but I don't think I'm supposed to take cheap blue cards. I'm not even certain that I'm playing that much blue, to be honest. I think I'm just going to take the Volcanic Spite. You get removal and card selection out of this card. So Volcanic Spite seems like a good one. Really messy draft, I have to say. Really messy draft. I need some more blue pips if I'm going to actually run these Breeding Champs. I believe this card was not good. First Strike, Menace, and when you cast an instant or sorcery, you can probably not do anything. Okay. Maybe I take this guy. I don't really want to play the Flywheel Racer. Maybe I just play the Gargantuan, honestly. That could be a nice curve topper for me. Yeah, I think having a Gargantuan in my back pocket is probably pretty good. Cut the Gloomfang Mauler. Oh, you know what? Beamtown Beatstick makes blue pips, and Skittering Surveyor is a nice one too. But I kind of like the idea of the Beatstick. Beatstick is a really nice one. +1/+0 and Menace, and when it deals combat damage, you make a treasure. And by the way, the Deadly Derisions also make treasures. So if I include my treasures, yeah, okay, I'll take the Beatstick. I'll take the Beatstick. I have a high opinion of that card. Wow. Am I just in the wrong lane? Like, if Far's Dispersal is really good, but I don't think I'm supposed to push my mana that far, I guess I'll speculate on Searing Barb. 1, 2, 3 blue pips. Well, 1, 2, I'll have an island. If Far's Dispersal is so much better, this thing does incubate at least. I'll put this in my sideboard. The red removal spell, another Preening Champ. Am I supposed to be splashing these guys? It feels a little greedy to try to be splashing a bunch of Preening Champs. What's my other option? This guy reveals the top 6 and shows you a dragon. I mean, it's better than Pyretic Prankster if I can possibly afford the mana. I just don't think I can afford the mana. I guess I'll take the Island Cycler. I don't think I'm going to be playing the double blue costing card. I feel like I've flown a little bit too close to the sun on the number of Preening Champs that I have here. I have 1 Swiftwater Cliffs. We'll see if I don't know, if I could wheel that Skittering Surveyor, I'd be really happy. I just don't think that's going to happen. We do also need to cut 1 card. It probably should be at least 1 Preening Champ. So I could play Ren's Resolve if I wanted to. Ren's Resolve and maybe 1 Preening Champ, or yeah, maybe I just go down to 2 Preening Champs. So I have 3 blue pips to hit. I have Swiftwater Cliff, Skittering Surveyor, a blue, and like an island, and then I have the 2 treasures off of Deadly Derision and possible treasures off of the Beatstick. Yeah, it could be doable. Maybe instead of Gloomfang Mauler, I'm actually supposed to play Ren's Resolve, something like that. Something like that. Oh no, I already have a Ren's Resolve in there. Okay. Okay then. So yeah, I'll play the Gloomfang Mauler, and I think that's my deck. Every draft, I kind of feel like I'm getting kicked around the draft table in March of Machines, but I think it's because I'm drafting very flexibly, and there's just like a lot of disagreement about what cards are good and what cards are signals, because no one has seen this set in so long. But I mean, I have cards that can win the game, and I think my mana is responsible. So yeah, all right, on to game 1. As we're starting game 1, I want to point out the subscriber counter up in the top corner of your screen. This is an easy keep, I think. A little bit awkward on the mana front, but that's fine. When we pass 100 subs, I launched a community Discord where we are all getting better at Magic together. We can do things like, when it's Arena Direct season, post our pools and get advice on which is the best deck to build. So if that appeals to you, do go ahead and subscribe. There's a link in the description below. And also, if you subscribe to the channel, you will move us closer to our sub goal. We're 10 subscribers away. from the goal of 115. When we hit 115, I'm going to do my second live stream. I did my first live stream very recently on this channel. It was an absolute blast. So cool to see a bunch of people who watch the videos and get to interact with people in real time. And I'm looking forward to the next one. Okay, I'm going to go for Skittering Surveyor, get an island and play it. And then we're going to start transforming stuff. So this is working out, and my retro lands are making it all look so much sweeter. But yes, I do post a new draft video every single day, and the goal is just getting better at Magic together. I also try to be really disciplined. Oh, this card. Well, okay. I try to be really disciplined about describing every single decision that I'm making as much as I possibly can. So right here, I'm not really too concerned about card advantage. I'm going to pitch the Preening Champ and the Mountain, and I'm going to hope that I can get a Mountain back by flipping this guy for 4 mana and attacking with it and hopefully drawing a card, or just killing the Ichor Shade. It looks like they might even be considering attacking with the Ichor Shade, which is really interesting. And there we go. I drew another Preening Champ, but I'm just going to go for the draw card. And then hopefully I'm going to make back my card advantage by finding lands and being able to play this Phyrexian Gargantuan, and then of course breach the Multiverse. So here we're drawing a card. Maybe we'll get a land back. No, but that's quite a good draw as well. Feeling good about my Grixis control deck. So if all that appeals to you, there's a link to subscribe in the description below. You can just expand it, hit the subscribe button, and you will follow along with the channel. And we will get better at Limited together. So let's see what's happening here. Invasion of Kamigawa. Yeah, this is not a good card. 4 mana to stun something, and then you have to put in tons of work to get a 2/3 flyer. If it were 4 mana for a 2/3 flyer, it wouldn't even be good. Forget about all the work. So this thing, at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, if that player has 2 or fewer cards in hand, it deals 2 damage to them. I don't really care about that, but I also don't really care about Skittering Surveyor, so I think I might as well just chump. Oh, you do get a counter on this guy, but that was going to happen eventually. Plus, I have a removal spell for it. So I could flip this, but I think I just want to play Preening Champ. Pretty sure I just want to play Preening Champ. In with this guy, play a Preening Champ. And then I'll chump block again and then Deadly Derision that thing if I don't draw land. And then I can play the Phyrexian Gargantuan. Or Gargantua. Gargantua? I'm not sure what that means. On a subsequent turn, although it's very possible that they do have removal. Maybe this time I actually just let it take 3, now that I think about it. Because I'm not afraid of them playing a flyer and then getting in for the last few points of damage. They could deal 3 damage to target battle. No, they don't have access to red mana, never mind. Tap something again. This is just battle overload. You need to keep your battle count a little bit low in this set, or else you end up with all these battles that you just can't pop. Okay, this does look like they might have the 2 mana counter spell, doesn't it? So maybe I'm not supposed to play my creature into that. I could also just flip this guy and make that be my turn. I don't know. If they had a 6-drop, they would have played it, right? So I actually don't think this is representing counter mana, just from the fact that if they had a 6-drop, they would have played it. It's not like they played a 4-drop in order to hold up a counter, right? So should I just Stoke the Flames right now? That kind of sounds good. I'm not really afraid of a haste creature. If they do have a big haste creature, I always have Deadly Derision. So let's just do this right now. Clears their whole board. Now I'm in a very commanding position, and if they somehow have a board wipe or something, I can always breach the Multiverse, which is a pretty strong answer to board wipe, because you just get the best card that was killed. I mean, Sunfall, the exile everything board wipe, is definitely, you know, not of that flavor, but okay, what happens? Everyone mills 3 cards, making my breach better in the future. Ooh, Grafted Butcher came back, nice. Do I have Phyrexians? This guy's a Phyrexian, this guy's a Phyrexian, and this guy would flip into a Phyrexian. Okay, and what does it do? When you flip it, you put a permanent with mana value 2 or less from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control, unsealed in Acropolis, so you get to bring back 2 creatures from your graveyard to your hand. Okay, it's a very slow 2-for-1 sometimes. A very slow 2-for-1 in the late game. Oh, I love my beautiful lands. I'm so happy that I got these. Okay, now, should I just Deadly Derision that guy? I don't think I'd care much about Oculus Whelp or the Aetherblade Agent. Because, for example, when they the Ether Blade agent is going to block down the Gargantua. Yeah, and I can flip Pyretic Prankster as well. Yeah, let's just do that. That's just a little bit too sweet. You know, I could also use the treasure to bring back the Grafted Butcher instead of transforming, but I think it goes into my hand, not the battlefield. Does it go to the battlefield or to my hand? Anyways, well, our deck played out pretty sweet that game, didn't it? It played out pretty sweet. I didn't even have to play Breach the Multiverse. Grafted Butcher to the battlefield, so it would have immediately given a +2 boost to my other 2 Phyrexians. Pretty cool. All right, on to the next one. I think this is a good hand, super active. I don't know if I just think that all my hands are better now that I have these old Borderlands, but it's very possible. So I kind of want to go Ral's Reinforcements into Scornblade Berserker, sacrificing one of the 1/1s to get a card. It's a bit of a waste of a +1/+1 counter, though. So maybe I'll just do the Ether Blade agent. Oh, this swamp is too sweet. I love these lands. I seriously love these lands. Gift of Completion. Okay. So they get to incubate. Oh, the Beat Stick is a pretty nice one, actually. So I think I'll play the Beat Stick, put it on the agent, and attack and make a treasure. But then I'm not inclined to use the treasure just yet. I kind of want to use that for like Ren's Resolve acceleration, for example. But now this guy has Menace and Death Touch. That's a pretty nasty combination. Although they could, of course, always find a removal spell for it. All right, so I'll play a land. I think I might as well flip it. If I flip it, yeah, it has Menace. I mean, they might just have a removal spell. They're probably just asking me to put mana into this guy. Just sink my whole turn into him and then they do a removal spell. That doesn't work. It has Menace. Yeah, they didn't notice it has Menace. Whoopsies. Whoopsies. I'm sorry, opponent. It has Menace. Now here, maybe I do just play Pyretic Prankster at this point. Sounds pretty good to just accelerate myself out. Because now I can afford the Deadly Derision to stop them from blocking the Mind Stinger. Yeah, so what I did was definitely a gamble. If they had had the 3 mana destroy target creature with mana value 3 or less or whatever, then they could have blown me out, right? Because they could have taken my whole turn 2, the equip cost of the Beat Stick, and the 4 mana to transform. But I did it for a few reasons. Number one, my deck is a control deck, so it's not like those turn 2, 3, 4 are super crucial for me if the opponent's not racing ahead of me. Like I have Ren's Resolve and stuff, so I can go long if that's where this game is headed. And it's really only a 1-for-1 at the end of the day. They would just be trading tempo. And the other reason is if they don't have that specific removal spell or one removal spell that just kills that guy immediately, then I pretty much win, right? I make a treasure, draw a card, and deal 4 damage to them, and have a 4/3 Menace Death Touch that they still have to deal with. A little bit hard for them to handle. Okay, but here I do have 2 of my colors in a 2-drop, but I don't think I'm supposed to keep it with all this black stuff and no black mana sources. This looks like a much better hand. I'll keep this, and I'll probably just put back the Swamp Cycler. Breach the Multiverse is a 7-drop, but it's such a good 7-drop, I kind of just want to keep it. And I don't really need the Swamp Cycling, so I'm just going to go Scrap Chomper into Thrill Seeker, and we're just building our way up to Breach. Okay, so turn 1 Scrap Chomper. Unfortunately, turn 2 is probably just Bloodfell Caves. But we'll see, we'll see. It feels like I'm playing Ninja Turtles whenever someone puts these lands down on me. All right, yeah. Yeah, this is not so impressive. This is not so impressive. Tetsuko is a really good card. So I definitely want to find some of my card advantage. But, you know, I mean, I play the Thrill Seeker, make the Scrap Chomper a 3/3, and then I can ping something for 1. Like, it's not nothing. I'm not working with nothing here. I'll take that. I have to. It's actually mandatory. See what you've got. I wonder if they have if they're holding up a removal spell, but no. Okay, maybe they are holding up a removal spell. If they are, I actually think it's still worth. I don't know if it's a counter, a bounce, or what. I actually think it's still worth casting this card. Maybe in case it's a Farah's Dispersal, maybe I'm supposed to actually put the counters on the Thrill Seeker. Yeah, I'm going to play around a bounce spell here. The idea is if it's a bounce spell, then putting it on the Scrap Chomper actually wastes the... Oh, okay, it's a removal spell. Okay. So we went 1-for-1. Not the best. But basically, if it was a bounce spell, putting the counters on here would actually waste the counters. If it's a removal spell, they just target the Scrap Chomper, and then I would have had a 1/1, but that's okay. Wow, everyone's loving this card. This is not a good card. It might beat me here, but that doesn't mean it's a good card, right? Crucial distinction. Crucial distinction. It is a 4-mana stun target creature that eventually turns into an understated flyer. It has a high power ceiling. If you can put in all the work, then you win, but you might as well just play like a good card to start off with that is going to put you ahead on the board, you know? And that you don't have to do a million work to get stuff out of. Okay, so I will put a counter on the Fearless Scald and then attack because I'm sure not blocking, and it has Double Strike. But they just drew 2 cards, so they probably have a lot to say about all of this. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So next turn I have Ren's Resolve. Stasis Field, sure. Ren's Resolve. This is kind of nice actually because Scrap Chomper can still sacrifice the Fearless Scald. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for Ren's Resolve. Hopefully finding a land and then use that land to play Breach. Okay, now I need to find 2 lands. That's a little annoying. That is a little annoying, you Ravnica rats. Okay. All right, I would love to find a removal spell actually. None of you are removal. So I may as well attack. So they're gonna get a 2/3 that when they hit me, they get to draw cards. That's a little tedious, but I'm about to also have a creature that when it hits them, I draw cards. So 2 can play that game, you see? So yeah, definitely next turn I'll be flipping my... Well, next turn I want to play Breach the Multiverse. That's what I want to do. Sure. There is a 6-mana counter. There is a 6-mana counter spell. So they could have that on Breach, but we'll see what they do. They might just play cards here. But that thing also does have Convoke, just something to be aware of. And the hope with Breach is that in 2 sets of 10 cards, you see a pretty good creature. And that turns out to usually be a pretty good hope. Okay, unfortunately, I can no longer do the, you know, racing them at drawing cards. But maybe I'll get a flyer. Hopefully, okay, that's a land. All right, if they have the counter spell, it's a blowout. So please don't. Please don't have the counter spell. That's all I'm asking. You can have whatever you want, just not counter target spell. That's all I ask for. Okay, all right. Preening Champion is a good one. Let's see what's in their graveyard. Oh, okay then. I see how it is. All right, let's start with Shuldred. Let's start with Shuldred. I don't mind that. And then, do I want the Thrill Seeker or Preening Champ? Preening Champ is actually pretty bad for me, isn't it? It can't even block, so I'll take the Thrill Seeker. All right. Yeah, that's kind of nice. Back up to, maybe I put that on the Scrap Chomper. Sounds pretty good. Yeah, okay. They did not implement the backup correctly. It says card name instead of the card's name. All right. So now you sacrifice a non-token creature or planeswalker of your choice. Yeah, that's why Breach the Multiverse is good. You kind of just get their best bomb a lot of the time. And let's see. I mean, let's see. We'll see what they have. Putting them to 7. So Shuldred, I can only do this if an opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard, which, by the way, Breach the Multiverse had something to say about. So I flip it, I destroy a... Oh, and I can attack with it first. And then I flip it, I destroy a creature they control. And then I put all creatures from all graveyards onto the battlefield under my control. Okay, awesome. Well, hey, Shuldred was a nice find, wasn't it? Let's see what they've got. Hopefully not a board wipe. I don't even remember what there is. I know there's Sunfall in the set. I don't remember if there are other board wipes as well. Okay, so basically, if I attack with Shuldred, it's going to die. So I probably want to flip Shuldred. Yeah, I probably want to just flip this Shuldred. Wait, it's owner's control. They're the owner. I didn't even think about that. That's so funny. I didn't even think about that. I thought it was just transform. Hey, I'm just trying to be a good sport, right? That's so funny. I didn't even think about that. Oh man, what a blunder. No way. Yeah, I mean, I haven't played with these cards in 3 years, right? So that's my excuse on that one, but my bad. Hold on, so it's sacrifice an artifact or land. Okay, well, this definitely became a game, huh? Or not even, they just win, right? They're gonna get Skittering Surveyor, Preening Champion. Oh, I totally threw this game away. That's so sad. Yeah. Can I win? Maybe if I convoke. Oh, you can't sacrifice it. Yeah, you can't even sacrifice another creature. I guess I'll do this instead of playing the Pyretic Prankster. Beat stick. I pretty much have 1 turn to win though, right? Yeah, no, huge blunder. It's so funny. Oh, I have to discard cards. Oh, then I can't win. Okay, should not have flipped Shoulder, huh? Okay, well, hey, lesson learned. A reasonably expensive lesson because I was just so far ahead in that game. So that's pretty sad. Well, didn't think about that. Okay, on to the next one. Pretty dumb mistake, but in my defense, 3 years after playing this set, it is confusing that you have battles that transform, you have creatures that transform, you have incubator tokens that transform. All of that stays under your control if you do it. You're just flipping it. And then you have Shouldered, which is exile it and put it under its owner's control. And I can't think of another card that works like that. Pretty confusing to have a card that works that way in a set where the main mechanic is just flipping something in place. But, you know, whatever. I mean, obviously I should read the card carefully. But okay, I spend my gems so that you don't have to. This hand looks totally sweet, right? This hand looks totally sweet. Play the Phyrexian Samurai, play Skittering Surveyor, get an island, play Invasion of Amonkhet. I could also get a swamp to unlock Deadly Derision and then use the treasure to play the invasion. That's actually probably an even better idea, but we'll see what lands I draw. Yeah, probably I should just go for a swamp and then use the treasure for the invasion. There's another really notorious issue in this set, which is an interaction between battles and a card called Phyrexian Censor. Phyrexian Censor says you can only cast more than 1 non-Phyrexian spell each turn. Okay, there's my swamp. So then I play this and I get an island. Or I could just play the Voldaren's Thrillseeker, but I think I do this and go for the island. And battles are technically casting, not just flipping. You're actually casting the spell. Do you have Menace? No. So the way that it works is if I play a spell that's not a Phyrexian and then I attack a battle, destroy it and attempt to flip it, and there's a Phyrexian Censor in play, I'm actually not allowed to cast the battle from exile, and the card literally stays exiled. A really, really notorious way that people got in this set. Okay, so at the beginning of your end step, if an artifact or creature is put into a graveyard from the battlefield this turn, then you put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. I think I just want to play Invasion of Amonkhet, honestly. I kind of just want to play the invasion. We mill 3. You discard a card and I draw a card. Really, really big swing. So what did they just do? Oh, they almost got to play this off of Madness? Hold on. Oh, because it has Convoke? Are you kidding me? And that's not an interaction in the set, by the way. That is a pure aftermath thing. That's not something that you're supposed to have to think about with this card. Okay, well, I'm going to offer up the trade because Grafted Butcher can always just come back from the graveyard. Wow, really goofy stuff. Okay. Wow, I'm getting got in just all the weirdest ways today. Youch. This is a little painful. So if they do invest in making this have power 4 or greater, or 5 or greater, then I'll just Deadly Derision it. I can't block and activate Grafted Butcher, unfortunately. I keep thinking this thing has lifelink, but it's a different card with similar art that has lifelink. What does this do? +3/+1 and trample. So I probably do want to hold up removal for that. Now, now you have haste, so I can play this, but I can't flip it. Darn, I'm like a little bit shy of getting to play the Harried Artisan and also the Thrillseeker and put counters. So what I can do is, I mean, the other thing is I really want to Deadly Derision the Karsus Depth Guard when they spend 2 mana to equip the equipment. So maybe that's what I'm going to do. Just send Skittering Surveyor at the invasion. And then end of their turn, I'll shoot the depth, or not end of their turn, when they equip the greatsword. Well, actually, when they move to combat, so they can't re-equip it. So we'll go to attackers. And then I'll shoot the 7/4 scary thing. And I'll take 2. And then with Voldaren Thrillseeker, I should be able to crack my Invasion of Amonkhet. And I can have it enter as a Shivan Branch Burner. Let's see. I could also have it enter as a... I could cycle the Gloomfang Mauler and have this enter as a Gloomfang Mauler. Is that better? No, I kind of want my Gloomfang Mauler. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and play Voldaren Thrillseeker. I'm still just so freaking sad about flipping their Shuldred. What a dummy. I just feel so sad about that. Oh well, these things happen, and you have to be able to shake it off. That's a core skill in Magic, shaking off bad beats and just moving on. That is one of the best skills you can ever develop in this game. Not just for Magic and doing well in it, but for life in general. Okay, I'll probably take... So it's a 4/4 zombie. That overrides the stat line, so I could have it be a 4/4 flyer, or I could have it be a 4/4 that makes them lose stuff on entry. So it's got to be the 4/4 flyer, right? Yeah, I'll just get the flyer. Okay. And then I'm going to probably just play the artisan. And then I could shoot Skittering Surveyor into them, sacrificing my treasure, but that just doesn't seem very good, does it? I'd rather have the 3/4 than just 3 damage on them. All right, so they're going to attack me for a bunch of damage here. And honestly, I probably just take it. I'm about to play a 5/5 that can block that. So I probably just take it. Are they going to give it double strike or something? Okay, +1 zone for a strike. Well, I'm glad I didn't try to line up double blocks. All right, sure. Now I have to not die. That is the challenge confronting me. I have to not die. That's the one thing. Oh, Phyrexian Gargantuan is a tempting way to die. That is a tempting way to die for someone who loves drawing cards like me. Okay, I'm going to do some like pretty cowardly attacks. I want to keep back the 3/4 because this thing does have trample. And if they manage to kill my Gloomfang Mauler, I actually want to have multiple good blockers. So I'm going to put the counters on this guy. Again, I know this is chicken. I'm well aware. But I just kind of feel like this is a really hard wall for them to get around, right? Having a 5/6 and a 5/5 that can both block their creature. Double strike. Yeah, see? That's exactly the kind of a thing that I didn't want to happen. So you're going to attack me with a 7/6 double striker. I just need to make sure I'm doing my math right. I think I just want to put the 5/6 in front of it, and then I'll take 8 damage going to 1. Sounds bad. Okay, why don't I double block it? No, then you get to actually kill. Oh yes, if I double block it, then I can sack the Thrillseeker. Is that worth it? Yeah, probably. I want to be able to play the Gargantua, right? And if I take like 12 damage here or whatever, I don't get to play Gargantua. So basically, the way that this works is I block your double striker with 2 creatures. You're going to deal 7 damage to Skittering Surveyor, let's say, and kill it. Then on normal damage resolution, I shoot this, and yeah, it should be fine. I mean, it's not fine, but hey, I feel like I played this right by holding back 2 creatures and being very cowardly. My cowardly ways actually paid off. I think, right? We'll see, but I'm pretty sure. Okay. And then let me shoot that guy. Well, let's just, I mean, we might as well let damage resolve. Okay, and then I'm going to shoot that guy. Now, the only issue, and it's a minor issue, and by minor I mean absolutely freaking major, is now they get to Fearless Scald. So this guy, it's fine to play this one because it's going to lose me 2 damage, but it saves me 4 HP in blocking. And I could get Volcanic Spite, so I need to keep a red untapped. I mean, I have a red in my hand, but Volcanic Spite would be the best possible draw. Ral's Reinforcements is actually not bad. Now, what can I attack with? So this is going to be a 6/3 double striker. So I don't really want to attack with anything. I could attack with Harried Artisan, but that just sounds like a bad idea. So let's just go ahead and do this and no attacks. Yeah, it's very, very scary. This is very scary. What do you do? If a source you control with an odd mana value would deal damage to a permanent or player, deals double that damage instead. Do you have an odd mana value? Oh my goodness. What a stupid way to lose. Oh man. I thought I was doing really well this game. 3. Wow. And I just couldn't draw a removal spell. So what's it going to do in terms of double strike damage? This is 6 double strike, so it will do 12 double strikes. This is 5, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this is just going to trade with absolutely every creature that I have. And I can't kill them this turn. But I need to have back 3 toughness of creatures after they do 12. So 4, 5, or 3 power. So I could technically attack with 2 power of stuff, but that would just be the artisan. Oh, that's so pathetic. Wow. Unreal. Maybe I spent my like Deadly Derision too early. This got milled, but no, I needed Deadly Derision. I spent it on a... Okay, awesome. I spent Deadly Derision on a 3-drop. Wow. I mean, on a 7-4 that was like played early in the game. Okay, well, last game I lost entirely to a blunder. This game I lost to a deck that was like 80% D-level cards and then just enough tissue that ties them together that they managed to just like get the damage over the top. So, okay, too bad. I definitely have faith in my deck. I as a pilot let it down 2 games ago. This last game, I wish it had been a best of 3. All right. Quite a bad hand, but I feel like I need to keep it. I mean, I have a 1-drop, a 2-drop, removal. I have a future. This can hopefully draw me into my red. That's another good 2-drop. Another good 2-drop for sure. So I'll put the counter on the Scornblade Berserker. Not ideal, but I think it's definitely worth playing it as a 1-drop. Just gives me a little bit of activity. Skyclave Aerialist is a heck of a good card. Very sad to see that come down on the other side of the table. However, Swiftwater Cliffs, very happy to see that one. All right, I mean, I'll offer the trade. Obviously, they're not going to take it, but we can always hope, right? We can always pretend. All right, so then Grafted Butcher next turn with Swiftwater Cliffs, and then I have Deadly Derision online. The problem is this is not a card that you can really handle with removal. It's good without needing... it's good in a way that cannot be dealt with by removal, right? So they could always flip this next turn, so I don't really see a need to hold back. Okay, I'm happy to just trade, and then I'll go ahead and play a Grafted Butcher. That guy's not a Phyrexian, so... And then next turn I can do Kenra's Spell Spear, or I can do Deadly Derision, or, and this is what I really want to do, I can flip the Aetherblade Agent. We'll see if they back up onto itself. No? Okay, so they're just letting me get in with Aetherblade Agent, which is really interesting. Oh no, they're not, because this guy has... This guy's a 3-2, but still... I think I do want to flip it. It's a 4/4 because it's a Phyrexian, so they can double block if they want. I'm suspecting that they don't want to, so now I do get to draw a card. Hopefully now I draw a land. Okay, Volcanic Spite is nice. I do then want a mountain specifically after that. I think if they attack with both, I actually might just block Sigiled Sentinel. I don't really want to be taking 5 damage here from 9. Yeah, I'm just going to block the Sigiled Sentinel. I don't need my Mind Stinger to stay as a 4/4, to be honest. So what I'm going to do is I will attack here. They could just not block. But if they do block, I'm happy. Okay. Get through for 3, draw a card. All right, that is a land. So I'll play it. And then I think the best I can do is play the preening champion, not the spell spear. Play the preening champion. All right, I have to not just have such an addiction to value that I just keep throwing in this Mind Stinger mindlessly. Next turn, I probably just want to do 2 removal spells. Everyone's playing this card. It's not a good card, and yet it just keeps doing well against me. But look at this, it just added 4. Imagine if this card said your opponent gains 4 life. That's kind of what just happened here. Because they just sent 4 damage at that card instead of sending anything at me. Okay, well, definitely just chump. Oh, what? Arena totally deceived me there. Why am I playing everything wrong today? Arena looked like it had the line pointing straight at me. Was that just me? It literally looked like it had the line pointing right at me. That's very disappointing. I very much thought that that was coming at me. Okay, well, whatever. That's really disappointing. So I think maybe I Deadly Derision the Aerialist and then Volcanic Sprite on my turn so that I can play the land if I draw it. But maybe not, because it's also nice to have that stuff up at instant speed. But I really do want this to resolve on the Saboteurs. So why don't we go for just shoot Rooftop Saboteurs right now, and then no need to attack. I think I'm pretty stable at this point, so long as they don't play something grotesque. So I definitely want them not to just get an attack in on me. If they kill the Mind Stinger, I think it's not that bad. Okay, so in that case, I'm just going to go ahead and shoot that. And I'll put Fearless Scald on the bottom. I don't really think that's very useful to me. It's a little bit too expensive. Do you have Aerial Boost or something? In that case, Deadly Derision is going to hit the Aerialist. Change the equation. Interesting. All right. Sure. And now you flip it and get value. Okay. So I kind of want to save the Mind Stinger until I have Fearless Scald. Like I can give it double strike. So let's go ahead and shoot that. Probably I attack with Preening Champ. No reason not to, really. And then let's go ahead and play... I would say probably play the Spell Spear, because I would like to flip the Pyretic Prankster. With Fearless Scald, I can also do 6 damage in the air, double striking. I just hope that they don't have some egregious bomb here. That would be such a sad end to my journey. Thunderhead Squadron. That's actually an annoying one, isn't it? Okay, actually Gloomfang Mauler, that's an awesome draw. Hopefully they don't have the counter spell. So if I play Gloomfang Mauler, I can put the 2 counters on the Mind Stinger and almost certainly just get in. Right? That's better than double striking this guy. Yeah. I mean, the other thing I could do, actually, this is probably the better thing. Why don't I go ahead and attempt to cast this? Hopefully it resolves. Counter? You also have the counter spell. They also top deck the counter spell. Of course they did. Okay. Well, I'll just attack with this then. If you double block, I get to kill both of your creatures, and then I'm feeling really good. If you don't block, I get to draw a card, and then I'm feeling good so long as you don't, like, also top deck something awesome. Wow, them top decking the removal spell or the counter spell is really a bad beat. Well, I'll snap block everything here. I really wonder what they have. This is such a bold attack. Okay, in this case, I'll just block like that. Easy enough. Now I just need to not die from some random little pump spell. So let's attempt... yeah, I'm just going to attempt this. I mean, they just emptied their removal spell out of their hand, right? So I'm going to give this +1 and double strike in for 6, and I kill them. All right, there we go. We got there. Woo. Wow. Close game. Close game. Okay. All right. 3 wins. I mean, this deck should do better than 3-3, I think, but I mean, I have no one to blame but myself. Okay, I'm perfectly happy with this hand for sure. Perfectly happy with it. So we're going to go turn 1 tap land, turn 2 Pyretic Prankster, turn 3 I'll play the Thrill Seeker and put the counters on the Prankster, The opponent is a person of taste. They also have a Ichor Drinker. Okay, actually, I'm going to put the counters on the trample creature. That sounds good. 4/4 Trampler on turn 3. It's pretty good. We'll see if they have a removal spell for it. They very well might. Oh, they might have Pacifism. You probably wouldn't use it here if you did. Ichor Drinker. I don't really want to get Aerial boosted, so sure, you can do that. It's hard to read that attack. Oh, and then you can sacrifice your creature and exile my creature. Okay. A little tedious, because they do get value out of that. Okay, well, then I'm just going to go this guy and Scornblade Berserker, putting the counter on the Pyretic Prankster. And then I can do cool stuff like put the Beat Stick on the Scornblade Berserker and get in for damage. This thing, they exile it and incubate, so they could make a 2/2 this turn. And that's what they're going to do. Sure. This thing, when it flips, oh, yeah, so they're leaving it so that they can activate it later on. So why don't I just put the Beat Stick on the Pyretic Prankster? I could also have flipped it to give it 3 toughness, but I kind of like the idea of getting the treasure, because I'm rather mana starved at the moment. So we get in for 4, make a treasure, and end. Then when they attack me, I'll probably just block with the Scornblade Berserker and sack it to draw a card, I think. Even though I don't mind having the ramp. Oh, they were missing a color. Well, that's bad. That's bad news for me. All right, I'll block, sack, and draw. It cost me some material, but I don't think it's so bad. All right, now I have a 2/3 haste. Cut short. Okay. Oh, man. That's not good. I'll play the Harried Artisan and hold it back, probably. It's just a really good blocker here. It's a passive decision, but I kind of like the idea of them not flipping this thing. Incubate 2. Oh, and your Phyrexians get pumped. Okay, that's really annoying. That's really annoying. And I'm stuck on lands. Oh, isn't that just how it goes? Well, I'll put the counters on this guy. And not attack, I guess, in the hopes of eating some Phyrexians. Well, I would really like to draw some lands, please. That's what would make me happy. Some lands. All right, playing an island. My opponent had a really complicated turn. They just roped twice and then didn't do anything. I really wonder what the consideration was. So I kind of want to start getting treasures, but I don't really think that I can. So why don't I cycle this Gloomfang Mauler? I really need the land. And then go ahead and play the Aetherblade Agent. It's a really good blocker. And I don't think I attack with the Harried Artisan. I kind of like having all these blockers back. So we'll see if that stabilizes me. They flip another 3/3. Okay, so when it deals combat damage to a player or a battle, you flip an Incubator. Breach the Multiverse is a nice one. Now I kind of want to attack, to be honest. But I don't think that I do. Let's just hold back. I know this is really playing chicken, but I feel like the way that I lose is if I let them start running me over. Like, make some attacks that are weak to, like, one good removal spell. And here, if I just sit here and just cast 2 removal spells and draw a single land or manage to land a Beat Stick. Oh, Angelic Intervention. That's so bad for me. Wow, they just have everything. Wow. Whatever. I mean, this is just not my draft. I mean, like, Angelic Intervention is really good, and that's why. This is just not my draft. Like, flipping Shuldred was just one of the worst blunders I've ever made. Certainly the worst blunder I've ever made on a video. Absolutely. This thing, okay, it loses protection from black elites. I don't even get my treasure token. And then last game, like, it was so winnable for me. That game was so winnable for me. I think maybe I just need Deadly Derision to resolve, so I think I just shoot this thing right now, to be honest. But then they got like the double striker combined with the trampling equipment combined with the odd numbered creatures and whatever, and my massive board just suddenly is not enough to even save my HP. Yeah, it was like the perfect storm. So just not my draft. Sometimes it's just not your day. And that's okay. Not every day is our day when we draft magic cards. So the Frazzle Cannon is going to give them +1, I think. And each other creature that shares a creature type. Nizumi Freewheeler. So you can flip it, and what do you do again? You put a permanent with mana value 2 or less from a graveyard. Yeah, there's some of those. The Scrap Gorger, Scornblade Berserker is a really good one. Oh, they had a Corruption of Tawashi. I'm glad that they didn't draw that. They could get Alabaster Host Sanctifier. Maybe I can beat them to it, though, by Breach the Multiversing. That would be pretty good. Are you going to hit me with the Flywheel Racer? That would be eccentric. Oh, no, you're doing it so that you can get a card. Okay, sure. No, I mean, that's all well and good for you. All right, they are taking the Scrap Gorger, fine. Or no, they're taking Pyretic Prankster, fine. So I could just kill that at the end of the turn. I think I probably do. Just shoot that guy. I think that's fine. If I don't draw land, I'll play the Phyrexian Gargantua. Because I don't really want them flipping that and attacking with it as a 4/3 that makes me sacrifice a creature. That sounds like really good for them. So worst case scenario, I get a Gloomfang Mauler and Infected Defector or something. Sounds pretty good. Off of Breach. Otherwise, I'll just play the Gargantua, hope to draw land, and then it's one turn to Breach probably. Because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be 6. Oh, that's really annoying. But okay, I'll play the Gargantua off of this. So Gargantua, yeah, this could be a tough turn. Could get some tough beats here, but my Death Toucher is doing a lot of good work for me. I mean, technically I could also have put the Beat Stick on the Aetherblade Agent, but I really want to draw the cards. Okay, nice. So now I play this, I have 6 lands. Next turn I get to Breach. Next turn I get to Breach, and whatever has the Frazzle Cannon on it, I get to block with my Death Toucher. All right. But I definitely don't have any attacks. This guy can also get flipped into a 5/6 Flying Haste, so that's actually a 3-turn clock for the opponent. Hopefully they didn't draw something totally grotesque. Seal from Existence is a good one. That is a good one. But you're not exiling the Death Toucher. That's interesting. I would have thought maybe that's the scarier one for you, because the Death Toucher can kill this guy. Oh, it has Menace. Okay. All right, well, I'll block it. I'll block it down. I guess they just didn't want me double blocking with the other 2 and maybe something would have survived. Okay. How many cards do I have left? 17. Okay, Breach doesn't give me that many turns to play with. Okay, another land. All right, well, I'll Breach the Multiverse, see what we get. If it's Sholdred, I've learned my lesson. Okay, I got my Grafted Butcher in the bin. Let's see. And they have a Grafted Butcher in the bin, so I probably want to take their Grafted Butcher so they can't bring that back. Chrome Host Seed Shark. Let's see. I wouldn't hate Etched Familiar, honestly. Rona's a really good one. I probably just want to take their Grafted Butcher, honestly. Because I don't really want to give them that extra material to play around with. And then I take my... Could honestly be my Phyrexian Gargantua. but probably it's Gloomfang Mauler. No, that's not so good because the thing about Grafted Butcher is the moment that I put it back, dang, I really helped them by getting that Grafted Butcher. The thing is, the moment that it dies, they get it back in their graveyard. So maybe what I want is, do they have any Death Touchers? No Death Touchers. Well, maybe I just take it and make sure that it doesn't die. I could also take, I guess, Knight of the New Coalition. So this is going to make their stuff 5/5s. So Phyrexian Gargantua is not big enough, unfortunately. Let's see. Chromos Seed Shark is a nice one, but I don't have any non-creature spells. I can't do Nizumi Freewheeler because I would actually die of decking. Yeah, I think I want to take their Grafted Butcher and probably my Gloomfang Mauler and back up itself. I think that's right. So from their graveyard, I'll take Grafted Butcher. From my graveyard, I'll take Gloomfang Mauler. And I'll back up the Mauler. And my hope is that Grafted Butcher does not die. That's my hope. So if I can get in with a Beat Stick hit, then I can sacrifice the treasure to return Grafted Butcher to play. Oh, that's a nice card to sacrifice. So now I could put the... I kind of want to put the Beat Stick on the Mauler and attack. I'm not dead if they attack me, so I think that's just a good move. So let's go ahead and do that as a starting place. They can double block and kill my Mauler. I think that's okay. And then like Skittering Surveyor can block down the Flywheel Racer. I think that seems fine. This is a 2-turn clock, so they have to do something about it. They can't just take it and then take it again. All right. No, that's fair enough. Bonk, bonk. Then I'm going to go ahead and play a Skittering Surveyor. I only have 5 turns, so I have to be very active. So I probably actually don't want to fetch a land. I'll take the action just to see what's left. Okay. Wow. I milled everything that's good in my whole deck. That's so unfortunate. They're at 15. I almost don't know if I can possibly win. I'm almost not even sure if I can possibly win. That's so sad. And they get to flip that. No, I think I almost certainly lose, don't I? Sacrifice an artifact or creature, bring it back. So I would basically have to sacrifice the Beat Stick. No, okay, so, well, I do technically have 4 turns. So in with the Surveyor, with Menace. Then I'm going to bring this guy back. And I'm going to sacrifice the treasure token. The only issue is that I wasn't able to do that before combat. My Phyrexians gain Menace, and then I'm going to put the Beat Stick probably on the Grafted Butcher. Because it's 4, so I technically could win off of Grafted Butcher, technically. Except not even, because they can just double block. No, they can't. They need another creature to crew. That's another creature. Yeah, wow. I just decked everything good in my library with Breach. Dang. So the way that I win is, wow, the fact that I just have no creatures left is really what's sinking me here. Wow. That's a very aggressive attack as well. I mean, I'll take it, obviously. I was scared that they were going to crew up the Flywheel Racer. Unfortunately, I can't play this Ren's Resolve because I know that I have nothing left in my deck. That's the bad news. So in with Grafted Butcher, I was scared they would crew up the Flywheel Racer and double block, but I guess I just don't even care. Technically, what I could do is next turn, if they attack me again, I can take it. Then suppose they try to crew up Flywheel Racer. I can play Ren's Resolve knowing that I have the 3-mana spell, the 3-mana damage spell. Nah, it's a good game. Oh, that's too bad. I mean, I threw this draft away. Well, I wouldn't be a very honest streamer if I didn't upload this one for you all to see why you shouldn't exile Shuldred. It's too bad because this deck definitely could have done better. Basically, 3 games ago, the first game that I lost entirely because I exiled that Shuldred and just gave them a Shuldred. So clear blunder, clear reason why I lost. The game 2 games ago, it was Fearless Scald plus the equipment plus that random companion. That's what's kind of cool about March of Machines is cards that are frankly bad. Like I'm playing a Fearless Scald, everyone plays some bad cards, but they were playing a large density of cards that are not good in a vacuum. Let's just put it that way. But you can have a companion that like ties it all together with some kind of cool synergy that you would never have seen coming. And it can just sort of come out of nowhere because no one ever thought of putting those cards in one place together. And they just got it lined up absolutely perfectly. I had like 9 creatures and I was about to take the game over. But because I didn't have like Deadly Derision at exactly the right moment, maybe my deck was a little bit removal light. They just managed to just crush. And then the last piece in that last game, I mean, I do think I would have had a much better chance if Breach the Multiverse had not milled, like, if I had had a few more threats left in my deck. Having said that, my deck maybe just didn't have enough threats in it. Maybe that's a lesson. Like, it was kind of halfway between aggro, halfway between control, and maybe I just should have gone more control. I will also say the original sin is that I got totally kicked around the draft table. I have no idea what anyone was doing at that table. You were not supposed to get, like, multiple preening champions, 3 preening champions when I'm not even in blue, like super late. One of the best cards in the format, Tandem Takedown, Blighted Burgeoning, Elvish Vat Keeper, and then some random black cards, and then some random red cards. These are all cards that we got really late, even like Beamtown Beatstick, cards that we got really late in the pack, and they're all across all of these different colors. So what am I supposed to make of that? So tough draft table, didn't play well, and had bad luck. That's about what adds up to a draft result where you don't quite make your gems back. But I'm going to share this with the world so that I spend my gems so that you don't have to. Don't lose your gems in the same way that I just did. And of course, we'll be trying to be better tomorrow than we are today. So we'll be back tomorrow with another draft video. Until then, have tons of fun, play Magic, everyone. And don't be afraid to splash.